What's good, everyone? Oh, welcome to another edition of Livewire Sports Media, and this is your motivational Monday, and we got a lot of motivation to go around for you. Yes, this is one of two videos that I'm gonna be dropping shortly. So let me jump right into it. I ain't even gonna waste your time. The Indiana Fever have finally found, have finally signed a player that hopefully can contribute to the Indiana Fever. And that is a great thing. That is something great to see because we are down bodies. If y'all remember that rock song, "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," that's what the Indiana Fever are feeling right now. They have bodies hitting the floor with Caitlin Clark out, Sophie Cunningham, and Sid Colston out. The Indiana Fever needed somebody to come in and contribute right away. And here we go. The Indiana Fever had just signed Aari McDonald. Now, Aari McDonald, if y'all don't know her, she used to play for the LA Sparks, and we already know the famous free throw line situation where she shot one free throw and jumped right back into her mode to guard Caitlin Clark, which is good, because that shows the girl focus with the task on hand. And all that last year, Caitlin Clark was on everybody's scouting report, just like this year. You have to pressure her and don't let her get the ball, don't let her pull up a three, all of that good stuff. And Ari McDonald, for what I have seen, highlights I have seen, is a pretty decent player. Now, she is short, you know, I think what 5'6", just a little bit under Kelsey Mitchell. But hey, the girl has game. She can play. She's really gritty on defense. She pressures the ball. She could shoot lights out from three. And everything like that. So Agnes, he did put up this right here about her. So he said that the Indiana Fever signed guard Ari McDonald via emergency hardship exception. She was the number 3 pick in the 2021 draft. Played in LA last season. This comes off of injuries to guards Clark, Colston, Cunningham, and now they have 9 available. 9 available. Now, again, as I have alluded to in all of my other videos, it depends on how said progress, and it depends on how Cunningham progress. Now, the Fever still will end up with Clark coming back. Hopefully, she comes back next week. Sometimes she'll probably get evaluated by the end of this week or so, whatever the case might be. But the thing is, they still have a spot to fill for 12. Now, a lot of people I've seen online have said, hey, go out and get Aari McDonald. Some people say go out and get Sundell. Well, if you listen to what Kelly Crisscross and Stephanie White said yesterday, it's really said, hey, we need somebody that could come and contribute on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And they need somebody is not necessarily has to fit their system, but they probably was looking at experience, and that's where Ari come in at. Yeah, Sundell is a great passer. Yeah, she led Kansas in assists, but at the same time, you would have to get her acclimated with the way the Fever are playing right now. Not saying that she can't come in and contribute. I'm not saying that at all, but now that Ari is signed to this hardship exception, a lot of people are, yeah, a lot of people, good. Me personally, just be happy that the Fever got somebody in that could contribute right away and has the ability to do the things that we need to do. We can't have it our way all the time, and we can't complain all the time. Support the team no matter what, to see how it plays out. Now, Ari is not a bad player. She's very gritty on defense. She can shoot. So, without further ado, I'm gonna show you a couple of clips of her practicing today with the Fever. Then I'm gonna go into a small interview, and then I'm gonna show you some highlights of her. Honestly, I think Ari fits the Fever. Just the way the Fever are, she fits that team. Her attitude and everything like that. And I didn't believe she was that short, but now, after looking back at last year's clip and looking at her this year and seeing some highlights, I'm like, man, but the girl could ball. She could ball, and she brings what Sydney Colson don't have. Now, and I know Sydney is an older player, and she's supposed to be this defensive person. But when it comes down to the scoring part, that is where it's lacking at. Sid has great personality. She's a great leader. She's funny. She does all of these great stuff, and she has brought, something to the team. But you hear everybody cut this person, well, cut Turner, cut Sid, cut do this, do that. The Indiana Fever is going to make a decision based on how they feel. It doesn't matter how we feel about it. They're gonna make the best decision. They probably don't see Sid probably comes back later this week. Ari could start as the starting point guard, prove herself. Sid could stay in that backup role. Maybe they do cut Sid later on down the line. Maybe they do cut Bree later down the line. But right now, you just can't cut people because y'all don't like the people. It is a way to go about it, because at the end of the day, you got to think about the salary cap. You got to still think that if they do cut them at midway, they still gonna have to pay them for the time they there, and then whatever little bit money they have over, they might still can't bring in somebody else. So we got to be careful of always talk about cutting and releasing a person. You got to think about the Fever salary cap purposes, So anyway, and stop bringing Aari McDonald in, they are able to go over the cap because it's a hardship. They need bodies. Now, say for instance, Sid and Sophie Cunningham do not come back, for another 2 to 3 weeks, then they are able to bring in another person, and then they'll have Clark back, and they'll still be at 9, whatever the case might be. So let me get into Ari's interview right quick, and then I'll come back to you.
Oh man, I was very anxious. Like it felt weird, sitting at home just watching the games this time of the year. But when I got the call, I was very excited, very blessed, and it was a humble experience to join a team like the Fever. And I'm just excited and I'm ready to compete and just win.
And you can tell she's, I don't know how old she is. She was drafted in what, 21. This is 25, so she could be like 25 years old, 26. Let me check real quick for y'all. But nevertheless, you gotta. She's 26. Ooh, I hit that on the head. Wow. And she has played now. Aari McDonald has played in the league for a minute. She's played. I do believe she played with the Atlanta Dream. She has stints with the Atlanta Dream a little bit. Um, she's from California. She's from that area, so hey, and like I said, she has played with the Atlanta Dream, so therefore she has experience in the league. Now, me personally, I think that Aari McDonald could potentially make this cut, this final roster, as she performs well. As she goes into Tuesday's night game, play great defense and pressure the ball. Now, we don't know if Sid gonna come back. Sid could come back tomorrow and go back to being backup. Ari could get the start. Now, it's gonna be interesting how you gonna play Ari and Kelsey Mitchell, because they both two short guards, 158, 156. Now, there's a lot of different ways you could do that, in every way like that. Now, Sid could start if she's ready to start or play, or you could bring Ari off the bench as a backup. You could bring her, what I'm saying? It's a way that you can do it. But now that you don't have Colston, well, just say for instance, now you don't have Colston, Cunningham, or Clark. The Indiana Fever definitely going to have to change their philosophy, how they're going to do things. They're going to have to play more gritty defense. They have to create turnovers to go into points. They cannot get into a habit of playing hero ball. If you stop playing hero ball, it's going to be bad for you, and it's not going to be good in a sense. So They have to change their philosophy. They got to do things where they could get easy buckets. Now, one thing I can tell you, Aari McDonald can shoot the three. She can shoot lights out. And if you don't believe me, check out this clip.
By Adia Barnes at the University of Arizona. Aari, transition three, she got it.
You know, Aja is a great player, and they're a great team. So they're
Hamby. McDonald gets another one. Nurse, nearly a travel, finds McDonald on the back door. Rebound McDonald. No numbers for LA, but McDonald gonna go one-on-one down the lane. Aari McDonald. McDonald around the Hamby screen, steps back for three. She got another one. Fourth triple tonight for Aari McDonald. Uru to set the screen. McDonald, Behezi, off balance, off glass. It falls in. Of 22. McDonald, Behezi.
And there you have it, guys. Aari McDonald. Aari McDonald. I don't want to say Aari, but Aari McDonald. And that's what, to me, that is so very, very important for us as Indiana Fever. She could get to the basket. She could shoot the three. She could push in transition. And that's what you need. Yeah, nobody can do what Caitlin Clark does. But if you could replicate something out of that, then that's a plus, guys. That is a huge plus. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how she contributes in tomorrow night's game. That's going to be the thing. Because the fact of the matter is, whether she start or come off the bench, who knows? It's going to be interesting. We don't know. I mean, Sid Colston has been practicing for the last 2 days, so that's a great sign. And maybe she could be ready to go. Maybe she could come off the bench and Aari starts. That'll be good. Then that'll give us what? An extra person back. So like I said, Aari McDonald has the opportunity to create for herself now, help this team win games, help this team stay competitive, and play very, very well. Even if the Fever still manage to lose some games, if she plays very, very well, by the time Caitlin Clark comes back, then it's going to be very interesting to see what the Indiana Fever does, because then she could easily replace Sid Colston easily and be that backup point guard to Caitlin that we so desperately needed. And then the Fever could probably just pick up a big and cut Turner if they choose to. But nevertheless, Aari McDonald, welcome to Fever Land. Can't wait to see you in action. Until then, this is Live Wire Sports Media. This is your Monday motivation. And like I said, I got more to come. Until then, you know what it is. And if you don't know, you don't know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.